Welcome back to our final session as we are going to see the destination image analysis. So let's go and dig deep to the destination image analysis. So what is this? I have highlighted the word systematic. So the analysis will take systematic assessment of how tourism destination is perceived by tourists and other stakeholders. And it's focusing on their beliefs, feelings, and the overall impression in order to understand how this perception influences tourist behavior and destination development. If you remember when I was mentioning our learning objective, we said we want to be able to analyze the destination image procedure. So what are these systematic assessments? It will follow into 3 steps. And the first one, the first procedure is analysis of perceived image. And what is this perceived image? Remember, the perceived image comes from perception. Okay? So this is how the target segment sees and perceives the branding. So the way you perceive, the way you see it. So when we are doing a destination analysis, we will start with analyzing the perceived image of the targeted tourists who are about to visit or are targeted to be visiting that particular destination. But the second is analysis of the actual image. So what is the actual image? This is looking at the strength and the weakness of the image as perceived by the company and based on the internal audit. So the actual image is analyzed with the destination management. Maybe the curators, the employees of that particular destination, and all those important stakeholders within the management of that particular destination, whether it's a museum, whether it's a monument, whether it's a heritage place. And the last process is the analysis of the desired image, how the company wants to be perceived by the target segment. So as tourist managers, where do you think you fall, especially in this process of destination image analysis? Do you fall under actual image or under perceived image? As a tourist manager, where do you fall? Anyone can try? Who can try? Where do you fall as a tourist manager? Do you analyze? Are you in the group of this perceived image or actual image? Actual image. That's very, very, very perfect. So we are in this actual image because we are looking inside. We want to see our strength as a destination, our weaknesses, and how do we perceive our destination based on the internal audit. How does our facilities look like? How is our management? How do we offer services? How can we rate ourselves inside the organization? And at this level, we will check all internal factors. Okay, but analysis of the perceived image, we will just see what tourists are perceive. How does tourists perceive our destination? And sometimes tourists may exaggerate and perceive our destination to be very nice place. But ourselves as managers inside the organization, we will see those linkages. And the last procedure is the most important procedure that I will want us to go out with it, which is very important for any strategic manager. What is this? Is desired image. How do we desire this destination to be perceived by tourists? And after knowing how do you desire the destination to be perceived, now you will come up with strategies. And that will mark the end of our today's session. But that is the deep place that we really need to think as critical thinkers, as destination managers. How do you want your destination to be perceived? How do you want Bagamoyo to be perceived? How do you want Ngorongoro to be perceived? How do you want Serengeti to be perceived? After knowing the strengths and weaknesses, and remember in that second stage of analyzing the actual image, we don't lie ourselves. We tell ourselves the truth. Where are we? And maybe at this stage, we can compare ourselves with big museums, with developed museums. What are they doing in terms of technology, in terms of marketing, in terms of service delivery, in terms of facilities quality? Can we compare ourselves with them and find something to learn and improve in terms of how do we want our destination to be viewed? And this is very important for a manager to understand. And if you are employed as a manager at that particular destination, whether it's a museum, whether it's heritage sites, what we expect from you is you to come up with this kind of strategies that we are going to discuss. And actually this part we are going to discuss, I've just mentioned a few of the strategies, but I expect to gain a lot from you. But how do you gain that strategies? How do you gain that ways to improve? Is after learning from others. So what will be our benchmark destinations to learn from? Where can we learn from? Is it from China? Is it from India? Is it from Europe? Is it from America? Where exactly do we want to learn from and improve our own destinations and improve our own attractions? Because we want the inflow of tourists. We want tourism to grow through our attractions. But are they in that good position to attract more tourists? That is the question for every manager to ask himself or herself today. And maybe after this session, we go out with that kind of mindset. What can we change? What can we improve to make Tanzania heritage tourism grow or rise? So, what are these key elements of the destination image? So we have got cognitive image, affective image, overall image. So cognitive image is what people know or believe about the destination, about the attraction, the facilities, the safety, the service that is provided in that particular place, but also when it comes to accessibility. So that falls under cognitive image. But then when it comes to affective image, this is how people feel about the destination. Now it comes back to psychology. As I said, this part of affective image is so subjective, because for you to feel a particular feelings and create a particular image, it has been influenced with a lot of things. And it will never be the same to all kinds of tourists when it comes to feelings. So, do they feel excited when they hear about our attractions? Do they feel boring? That is also a feeling. Do they feel fear? Do they feel unsafe, or do they feel safe? Do they feel dangerous? Do they associate that destination with death, with sadness? But when it comes to another element, which is overall image, is a combined evaluation now that shape the final destination to visit or avoid the destination. And that is the critical part we really have to think about and to work about. So the cognitive image plus affective image will create overall image, and that overall image will influence whether the tourist should visit that particular place or should not visit that particular place. So our role is to think, do I want to make this tourist affective image more positive? The answer is yes. Is it? And if the answer is yes, the second question is, how do I make it happen? How can I make it happen? That's the second very important question for a manager to think and ask himself and come up with great strategies and solutions. And if you remember, if you are employed anywhere as a manager, people take you as a solution giver. You have to come up with the solution as a problem solver. That's why you are a manager. And that's why we are preparing you to be a manager. A manager is someone who can solve people problems, who can solve a destination problems. So after getting this overall image of the tourist, how are you going to perceive this overall image? Is from the arrival of tourist number that are visiting your destination. So if the destination receive few tourists or low number of tourists, what we can believe about that is the overall image of those tourists or of the tourists or targeted group of tourists are very maybe negative. That's why those who are visiting are very few. But there are so many ways we can measure that overall image of tourists. Maybe sometimes through research, through questionnaires. In your final year, you're going to do research. Maybe you can decide to make a research on what are the causes or factors that make tourists not to have a positive image towards a particular destination. And after knowing those factors, you can come up with recommendation to improve that particular place. So maybe your research title will come from this lecture today. Who knows? And I think your research title should not come at your final year. Maybe from first year, you should start to think, what problem do you want to solve? And that's where you come up with your research title. Have you ever heard about research? Maybe I'm speaking something strange to you. Have you ever heard about it? Yeah, I know your first year, but you need to start thinking of your research title. It's not too early. It's not what? It's not too early. You can start to think about it this time. Maybe you have seen the destination image of the tourist is very negative, and your study may come up with the great solution to solve that problem. So let me give you this opportunity to grab your title from this work. I think it's an interesting study. Is it? Is it not interesting? Okay. So what is the purpose of doing all of this? The destination image analysis, trying to see how tourists perceive a particular destination. Why should we do this? So the first purpose is to identify positive and negative perceptions of a destination. They do say if you don't know a problem, you cannot solve that problem. And knowing the problem is solving that problem. Maybe it's the first step. Even if you are failing in your exams, the first step for you to know is, why am I failing? That is the first question to ask yourself. So after asking yourself that question, you will know the problem. So as a manager in a particular, whether museum or heritage sites or monuments, the first question you have to ask yourself is to ask why the number of tourists to our destination is very low. That's very important question to ask. And if you don't ask that question, you will not identify the perception of tourists towards your destination. And I know you all know that tourism is business, is it? So if you don't see customers flowing to your business, the first question to ask yourself is why? Is it? Whether the problem is you as a business or is in another side. So if you ask yourself why, you will be able to identify those positive and negative perception of tourists towards your destination. And the second importance or purpose of destination image analysis is to understand how myths, stereotypes, and the misinformation together with negative tourist image affect tourism. So we cannot know how does it affect if we have not do the analysis. But also to assess the destination's competitive position. This is also very important. We always know when it comes to business, we have competitors. Maybe from Kenya, maybe from Uganda, maybe from outside Africa. Those are our competitors. So what's your position as far as competition in heritage tourism is concerned? That's why when we talk about destination image, we should not just close ourselves in the box of Tanzania. We should go outside and see how is the image of the destination from outside of Tanzania. And you can see the real need for you to improve. Maybe sometimes competitors should be our friends so that we can also learn from them. But they are not our enemies. They are not. Because we really need to learn from them. If there is something they are doing perfect, if there is something they are doing nice than us, then they are our friends. So the other reason and the purpose for destination image analysis is to guide marketing, branding, and management strategies. So you don't just market your destination. You don't just brand. You just manage from nowhere. This analysis will give you important information that will guide you on how to market. Maybe there is a certain negative perception towards your destination, and your marketing efforts should focus to delete that particular image, or to cover it with a positive one. If people believe that museums are boring places, after the analysis, you may come up with such kind of answers. Then as a manager, you will make sure that your team prepare marketing tools or adverts that will try to show people how museum is really exciting and it is not boring. That is how you try to solve that negative image towards your destination. But you do that after getting the information from destination image analysis. And this is very helpful for effective tourism planning, marketing, and management. They do say you cannot plan without data, is it? So you get data and write data from image analysis, is it? So if I ask you again the importance of doing destination image analysis, I think this will be a very one way forward question, is it? But also, you can take a few minutes to brainstorm. What is the image of Tanzania in terms of museum, monuments, and heritage sites? Can you brainstorm and share with the class? What do you think the image is? Before we finalize to see how to correct that image or improve that image, let's first discuss how is the image currently. How is the image? You can come up with examples from any destination. Maybe Ngorongoro, maybe Bagamoyo, Zanzibar, and the other destination, even those which are not popular. What is the destination image currently? Maybe you can take yourself as a tourist. What's your image towards that particular destination? Thank you.
I have something to say. Here in our country, in Tanzania, there is the grave for somebody called the Emil von Zelewski, the one of the German soldier. I mean, he was the head of German soldier. So the image destination can vary according to the feeling. For instance, we as Tanzanians, when somebody visits over there, can feel that we are powerful and appreciate the situation that occurred. But it comes to negative when the Germans comes and go to visit the area. Somehow they will feel that they will create the negative image towards that destination. So the destination can be changed, as you said, according to the feelings. We can feel the proud, but when they came, they will not feel proud because their relatives, they say their leaders were killed.
Okay. So they will feel more sad.
Yes.
But maybe even though that image is negative or makes them feel bad, it can still influence their visit. Is it?
Yes.
But what he said, for us of visiting that place, we will have a sense of victory. We will feel proud of that place because the soldiers of our country were buried there. Is it? That's what you're trying to say. Okay, so maybe someone else with the idea of how Tanzania image as far as museum or monument or heritage sites is concerned. What is the current image currently? Is it only positive or is it only negative, or what is the balance between the two? Is Tanzania as a destination in terms of heritage tourism, is the destination of Tanzania positive or negative? Or mix of? Mix? It's a kind of mix. A bit of positive and a bit of negative. But as managers, as tourism managers, we want to improve it. We want to make things better. Is it? So, what are the strategies? What are the strategies? And before I display my strategies, which are very few, I know you have a lot. From the beginning of this session to this final part, I hope you have got a lot. So can we share what can be done to improve Tanzania destination image, especially as far as museum, monuments, and heritage sites is concerned? I would love to hear at least from 2 ladies and 2 gentlemen, then we finalize our session. They say ladies first? Is it? Okay, ladies. What? Ladies and managers of tourism. So, assume you are a manager in a particular heritage sites in Tanzania. So, what are the strategies you will take to improve destination image of that particular destination? So, you just give us an example of any destination whether a museum or monument or heritage site, and you tell us what is there currently, what is the image, what is the perception of the place. You can take yourself as a tourist to try to perceive that particular destination and come up with the strategies. What can be done? And if we don't come up with strategies, that means our session will not end into fruitful. Because for this lecture to be fruitful, we have to come up with strategies. So, any lady? Okay, I'm going to select myself. If you don't want to, Madam, share with us. Tell the class your experience towards any particular destination and what do you think can be done to improve?
I can tell about the Serengeti Heritage Site. There should be good management in particular area. For example, there should be management of the maybe animal there and the environment for those who are harvesting the forest there for lampering. There should be good management for those who that do those things to be managed.
Okay, thank you so much, Madam. She just insists on the proper management, and we are managers. We are responsible for that, is it? The management of facilities, the management of attractions, the management of the resources of that particular destination. If we will have proper management towards those resources, we will improve destination image of that particular destination, and it will result to the development of tourism, is it? Okay, another lady from this side. Thank you so much. Welcome.
For example, visual reality is really stunning.
Wow, that's very nice idea. Like digitalizing our destinations, marketing strategies that will use more of technology, but also adding technology in terms of marketing as well as booking, payments. You know, now the world is moving to digital world, is it? So if we will move with that global move, actually we will improve the destination image of our particular destinations. So thank you so much, Madam, for that very insightful comment. So, gentlemen, this is your turn. Who is going to give us the strategies for improving the destination image of Tanzania, particularly for museum, monument, and heritage sites? Thank you.
I can say we can maintain cooperation with others sites. As we know that we have other country, example is Morocco, which is more developed, it is advanced in terms of culture tourism. So we can maintain cooperation with them. We can gain something ideas cooperation, which will help us to improve more.
Wow, that's a very perfect strategy. As we say that competitors, they are not our enemies, they are our friends. So we can cooperate with them to make sure that we learn from them or we take them as a benchmark for our improvements. I think that is a very good idea. And he has also given us a clear example from Morocco. Okay, that's good. Can you tell us anything that is going on with Morocco?
Yes, Morocco is one of the famous African countries in terms of culture tourism.
Wow.
They are managing their culture well, and they are displayed outside through the world. So, and they are more advanced in terms of technology.
Yes.
They are running with digital informations. So, as Tanzania, can learn something from them that we can try and ask to more adapting digital technology.
Yes.
Develop like.
Wow, that's very perfect. Can we clap for him? I like the idea. I like the idea because he has given us a really practical example from our competitors, and that is what we have to do actually. Welcome, please.
Education prohibited or sustainable use of our museum fundament in our heritage sites.
Mm-hmm. So sustainably, using our resources sustainably. And we all know sustainability comes with conservation, comes with protection of the environment, protection of the resources and the attractions that are found in the places, so that the future generation will also benefit from what we are benefiting currently. So thank you so much for that very insightful comments. And these are additional points that some of them you have already mentioned: the use of digital marketing, social media, and visual tools to present accurate information. Myself, I have given you the example of Safari Channel, which Tanzania is currently doing, and I think that is a good initiative. We can continue doing that. Myself, I visited one destination, one museum in Mbeya after seeing that museum in the Safari Channel. So it contributed my destination perception and the image and desire to visit that particular destination. And if you are the follower of Safari Channel, I think you have seen many destinations that you have never even know they exist in Tanzania. So I think this is the very good strategy that the tourism ministry is doing currently, and they can invest more in that. And another thing that I have seen, the visual tours from our honorable president. Do you know the tour? It is called what? I think that has contributed positively to make sure our tourism is really known globally. So I think that royal tour from the initiative of our president was very good lesson that we can also learn from. And another way is improve infrastructure, interpretation, display, visitor services, and experience in a museum, monuments, and heritage sites. People should not be bored to visit the museum. They should feel excited because of the services. Today, there are those additional services that you can find in the museum, including library services, including shops, shopping centers, restaurants. I think those supporting services will make museum a place to enjoy and being excited rather than just learning and being bored only. So I think the way of interpretation, the way of display of those museum articles or artifacts will add value to the perception of the tourist to other particular destination. And also train tour guides and the museum staff to communicate positive and balanced narrative. So as maybe one of the day you will be a tour guide in any particular destination, what you have to do is to make sure you have a balance between positive and negative. So you apply balanced narrative, not to make tourists fear to come to your place. Don't exaggerate so much to make people fear to come to your place, but put the balance between the positive part. Maybe, for example, the place may be known for slavery. You know what is that place? What is that? Where is known for, famous for slavery. It's where? Yes. So instead of just marketing this place was famous for slavery, you can add the rich culture experience that person can experience in that place apart from that dark stories. So there should be a balanced way. So if we have trained tour guides and the museum staff including those curators, it will really improve and correct destination image of Tanzania heritage sites. But lastly, not least, to engage youth as digital ambassadors and content creators. So if you find young girls or young men, they have visited a particular heritage site or museum that seems or was perceived to be boring place, I think that will influence other youth to do the same thing. Maybe museums have been seen to be a place to go for students, for elders, for those people who are too old. So if we will have digital ambassadors and content creators from our generation, youth generation, they call it Gen Z, eh? Yeah, that will really influence people to visit that particular destination. Maybe we can collaborate with young musicians, those famous people, to market our destination in a way that it will also attract people of the same age or of the same generation. Is it understood? Okay, I'll invite if there is any question for our today's session, because I've talked a lot, we have discussed a lot of exciting stuff, and I would invite you if there is anyone with the question or comment or addition. Is there anyone? Thank you, welcome.
Thank you. I have initially from this last session about strategies for improving and collecting the expansion image of Tanzania. One among of the key stakeholders or primary stakeholders is community engagement. Community are very important stakeholders to who can support the art image creation and to improve those destinations. For instance, within your parks, maybe I can take you in Ngorongoro. When your government or destination have a good interaction with your community, I mean indigenous people from the area. Sometimes
May you please vocalize? May you vocalize? Or you can stand up so that they may hear you well. You're having very good point, but we are not hearing you clearly. Please, may you just stand up and vocalize?
I said that one among of the strategies for improving and collecting destination image of Tanzania, one among of the point or one among of the stakeholders who is very important on improving those destination image, community or community engagement. I mean the indigenous from the areas. I take an example, Ngorongoro conservation area. So when a government or that managers from the park have a good negotiations with community. So if there is any problem occurred around the park, maybe there is a poachers or there is any invasive species which cause the harms to animals or other biodiversity on the parks, the individuals or communities may be the primary who can tell the managers or who can speak for the management about what happening over the areas.
Wow, that's very, very keen contribution, engagement of community. That's very important. Thank you so much for that contribution. And I think you can add in your notes. I didn't mention it here, but it's very important to engage the community so that we can be able to achieve the goal of correcting destination image. Because we have said even when tourists comes to your destination and they don't find the locals to be friendly, it may affect their experience. So I think local community is very important to include them for destination correction, destination image correction.
Another strategy which I think is to increase marketing marketing maybe the destinations which are less famous in Tanzania to be known to the target audience. When I say the target audience, I have understood that some destinations have special audience. An example, maybe here in Solomon Mahilang campus, we have there is a certain place where the ANC soldiers were buried. That place can be very famous, or it is easy to attract people from South Africa than any other countries. An example, just imagine that place. Is it easier for the people from Morocco, Sudan to come to see the graves of ANC soldiers? That it can be possible, but for a low amount. But when we can take maybe that place and go to South Africa to market it there, I think it may create the image which may attract a lot of people from there, South Africa, to come to that place to see that graves of their heroes, so they can feel the sense of victory. So if by understanding that, I can conclude that some destinations have a special audience, although we can rely on that, but in realizing it, we may put some insists or a lot of insists in that audiences or like that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the great contribution, and that is very important to consider the target market when you plan for marketing and promotion strategies, so that you will target the real markets that will be more influenced to visit that particular destination. Though, as he said, it's not only that group will visit, but maybe we will get more flow from that particular country because of the rich history that is there, which is connecting with their history. So I think that is very important, and it can connect with the strategy of having collaboration with such destination, so that that collaboration may influence them even to visit our places in more wide way. So, as we have learned from session 1 about the main concepts of destination image, and from session 2 we have also discussed how those destination image can be formed and what are the factors that affect it, and we have also analyzed the procedures for analyzing the destination image and the strategies to correct and improve the destination image. So from all that, I'd like to bring you back to our learning objective to see if we have really been able to explain the concept of destination image and myth, but also we have been able to analyze how positive and negative destination image and myth have influenced tourism development. But we have also discussed and come up with great strategies on how we can propose the ways and techniques and strategies to be able to improve the destination image, both of our country and of any destination that you will at the future be employed in. So I hope this have been a good session from this module 3, and you have been able to see all this destination image and myth and how is it affecting and what can be done in terms of solution. Thank you so much. See you for next lecture that will cover module 4 on the conservation and the preservation of destination, especially museum, monument and heritage sites. Thank you so much.